Alright guys, welcome back to more Steins Gate. We already hit chapter 6 as of this video, and so much has happened. A lot of craziness, a lot of action-packed scenes have occurred, and without spoiling it for you guys, you'll all see for yourselves soon enough. So if anything else, I hope you all continue to enjoy. Thank you again for all love and support, and let's continue on. Alright everyone, welcome back. It must be. She's terrified of talking to people.
一緒に来てもらうのはあなたたちの口を封じるため。
Silence us?
それは拒否しても変わらない。
Does that mean she plans to kill us? Why? What did we do?
一体誰の差し金だ。お前たち何者なんだ。
私たちは
Sorry guys. Moeka suddenly lifts her head. For perhaps the third time since I've known her, she looks straight at me. Her eyes are dark and empty.
セルンの
CERN.
M4!
The dark-skinned man speaks up. Is he addressing Moeka?
口を慎め。
Moeka hangs her head again. In my head, I replayed the words she just spoke. CERN. They're from CERN? Why CERN? Of course. Who else could it be?
3人とも一緒に来て。
Moeka raises her voice in frustration.
これ以上拒否するなら嫌でも行きたくなるようにするから。
Moeka slowly raises her gun. She points the muzzle at Mayuri. My whole body instantly goes cold.
椎名真由里は必要ない。
よせ。
I lunge at Moeka, but the dark-skinned man is faster. Something strikes my chin with their crushing force. The shock numbs my entire body. Stars explode behind my eyes. I fall to my knees, powerless to stand. Everything goes dark. What happened? Did he hit me with the butt of his rifle?
Okari!
I look up. Mayuri's face streaked with tears is reaching out to me as if begging for help. Over her shoulder, I see Moeka ready her gun. I try to yell stop, but my voice catches in my throat. Nothing comes out but a pitiful wheeze. Someone. Anyone. Please. Stop her. Stop, Moeka! Moeka's lips move. She's mumbling something.
セルンのために FB のためにセルンのために FB の
Her mouth opens and closes robotically. My blood curdles. No! A sharp, dry crack splits the air. You shot Mayuri? Time slows to a crawl. Moeka pulled the trigger. Blood spurts from Mayuri's forehead. It splashes across my face, wet and warm. Her delicate, frail body falls toward me. I catch her. Her body is limp like a puppet with no strings. Her head and arms dangle lifelessly. The smell of gunpowder fills my nose. And then, the smell of blood. Daido clutches his head and falls to his knees, screaming at the top of his lungs. The sound jerks me back to my senses. In my arms, Mayuri takes one short, shallow breath. And then...
Mayuri.
She's dead. Mayuri's dead. Her face is covered in blood. Her blood stains my hands. It's warm.
もう一度言う。3人とも 一緒に来て。これ以上の警告はしない。抵抗するならあなたたちも殺す。
I hear a voice, but I can't comprehend what it's saying. What is this? What's going on here? Is this a joke? We may have created a monster here. This is a dream, right? Right? I feel nothing. My mind is blank. I shake Mayuri's shoulder. Mayuri? Wake up, Mayuri. You'll catch a cold if you sleep here. If you're tired, you can stay overnight. Or I can take you home if you prefer. We'll ride the train back to Ikebukuro together, like we used to before Daru joined, when it was just the two of us. Memories of her smile swirled through my head. 1,000 different smiles from 1,000 different occasions. If I look away, she'll disappear. She always disappears.
もう大丈夫だね。マユシーが人質じゃなくても。
I didn't think she was gonna get shot. No, Mayuri, I still need you. Laugh for me. Like you always do. Greet me with your silly da-da-doo. Tell me it's a lie. Tell me you're alright. Mayuri? Red flames consume my mind, an inferno of rage and hate and rage and hate, the burning desire to kill everything I see. I gently laid the motionless Mayuri on the floor. I stand up, and then I fling myself at Moeka. But before I can take a step, someone grabs my hand from behind.
離せ離せ
Moeka's gun is aimed at my head. Her fingers are ready on the trigger.
俺も殺すのかよ
抵抗するなら
岡部、お願い。今は従って。
But Mayuri didn't resist. So why did she get shot?
このままじゃあんたも殺される。
Because she was unneeded? And even then, what could she have done? I tear my hand from Kurisu's grip. My vision is a tunnel with Moeka on the other side. She won't get away with this. She killed Mayuri in cold blood. I'll do the same to her. Moeka pulls the trigger. The sound of the shot smites upon my eardrums. I feel a sharp pain on the side of my head. I nearly lose my balance again, but I'm still alive. What happened? I realize that Moeka's gun is lying at her feet. Beside it is a small stone. Someone must have thrown it and knocked her gun aside. Suddenly, Suzuha is there in the doorway, knocking one man down in the blink of an eye. Before anyone can react, she darts into another man's range and delivers a piercing elbow strike to his solar plexus. The man drops to his knees, gasping for air. The remaining men turn their guns on her, but she throws the incapacitated man toward them to block their aim. She then slides into the feet of the man at the rear, tripping him forward, and in a single smooth flowing motion, drives her knee into the man's face as he falls.
こいつ
The dark-skinned man aims his rifle, but before he can fire, Suzuha snatches a stunned attacker's gun and shoots him. Blood spurts from the man's hand. Without pausing, Suzuha leaps into the air and delivers a soaring roundhouse kick to his jaw.
そこまでよ。
The next thing I know, the 5 men are down and Moeka's gun is aimed at Suzuha's face. But Suzuha doesn't back down. Her gun is trained on Moeka's neck. It's a standoff. Neither moves. Excuse me. Neither moves. Silence returns to the room.
何者？
42。
Suzuha replies makes no sense. She glances at me.
テレビ
What is she saying?
点灯済み
何を。
Suddenly, Kurisu springs up and makes a break for the development room. Oh, they're activating the time leap.
動くな。
それはこっちのセリフ
I suddenly realize the meaning of Susaha's words. The 42-inch TV downstairs, it's on. She wants me to use the time leap machine. I look at Mayuri's body. She's lying there quietly. Her eyes are closed. They'll never open again. One of the men Susaha knocked out starts to moan. If they wake up, it's all over. Susaha looks at me again. Her eyes implore me to make my move. If I use the machine, I can avert Mayuri's death. But at the same time, it could fry my brain. Fry my brain? So what? What is there to fear? Mayuri is dead, shot in cold blood. This isn't right. I won't accept it. Then change it. Change the past. You have the power. Use it. I stagger into the development room. Kurisu's about to put on the headgear. I pull it away from her.
岡部
俺が飛ぶ。
私が
I grab Kurisu's wrist as she tries to take it back. I stare into her eyes wet with tears.
俺がマユリを助ける。
もし失敗したら
I ignore her and put on the headgear. Morika's last shot grazed the side of my head. My ears are still ringing, and there's blood on my neck. It doesn't matter. I might fail. I might even die. But I have to try. It's my only chance to save Mayuri. Kurisu bites her lip and activates the X68000.
岡部倫太郎一人いった
殺せ。使わせるな。
やらせるか。
The Kruka and man stagger into the development room. Acting purely on instinct, I grab feature gadget number 4, Moad Snake, from the shelf and flick the switch. White smoke instantly fills the room, rendering it impossible to see.
クリス。
岡部本当にいいのタイムリープしてもいいのねえ
やれクリス。マシンを動かせ。あっ
Pain flares in my right arm. Was I shot? It doesn't matter. I see blue-white light shine through the smoke. The discharge is starting. The light rapidly grows brighter. The floor begins to shake. The singularity is open. I crouch down, holding the headset steady with one hand. Wait for me, Mayuri. I won't die here. I'll cross through time to save you. Leap, my memories. Leap to the past.
飛べよ
The world explodes into light. Well, that's new. Oh, we're in chapter 6 now. Nice.
マユリ。マユリ。
No matter how many times I call her name, Mayuri doesn't answer. Mayuri is standing in front of a grave gazing at the sky. The grave belongs to her grandmother who died when Mayuri was 11 years old. Her parents were always busy with work, so her grandmother was her only companion. I was close to Mayuri's family, so her death was sad for me too. At the wake, I expected Mayuri to break down and cry. She didn't. Instead, she spent the whole time gazing vacantly at her grandmother's memorial portrait. 6 months went by. I had advanced to middle school, so Mayuri and I no longer commuted together. But whenever I passed the cemetery on the way home, Mayuri would always be standing there. Every day, rain or shine, she would stand for hours before the grave, staring wordlessly at the sky as if she could see her grandmother in heaven. In her hands, an old pocket watch. The watch had belonged to her grandmother. Mayuri always held it when visiting the grave.
Mayuri?
No matter how many times I called her name, Mayuri did not answer. Back then, Mayuri wouldn't talk to anyone. Not to me, not even to her parents. Whenever I saw her standing there staring at the sky, I felt unease grip my heart. Her gaze was so earnest, her intentions so pure, that I feared some power might grant her wish and carry her off to heaven to join her beloved grandmother. And so, to ensure that nothing like that happened, I made sure to stop by the cemetery every day. I would stand next to the sky-gazing Mayuri and call her name.
Mayuri?
But no matter how many times I'd call her, Mayuri wouldn't reply. The only sound in the lonely cemetery was the echo of my voice calling her name. It was raining that day too. Mayuri had a light blue umbrella. In contrast to the umbrella's color, the sky was glazed gray, covered in clouds. After a while, the rain stopped. Rays of light shone through gaps in the clouds, a stunningly beautiful sight. Rembrandt's rays, they are called, or sometimes the angel's ladder. Suddenly, a strong wind swept through the cemetery. It caught Mayuri's umbrella and carried it into the sky. Mayuri seemed not to notice. She kept staring at the sky. And then slowly, so very slowly, she stretched her hands out to the sky, as if to grasp the rays of light. As if her grandmother were reaching down to pull her up. And then, she lifted herself on her toes. To me, it looked as if she were floating up toward heaven. Impulsively, I grabbed Mayuri's outstretched hand and pulled her to my embrace. In retrospect, my fears were just a childish fantasy, but at the time, I truly believed that Mayuri might vanish.
どこにも行かせないぞ。連れてなんて行かせない。
I realized how embarrassing the words coming from my own mouth were.
マユリは俺の人質だ。人体実験の生贄なんだ。
Also, that's where that first came from. It was the first excuse that came to my mind. Before her grandmother died, Mayuri and I were fans of a popular TV series about costume heroes battling evil. I particularly admired the villain, a mad scientist. I even got pretty good at mimicking his lines. Now I was doing it to hide my embarrassment. I could feel my face growing red, but I kept up the mad scientist act all the same. If nothing else, it was better than admitting my insecurities.
どこにも逃がさないからな。
And this gave birth to his Chunibyo. As I said this, I realized that Mayuri was shaking. She whispered. It was the first time in 6 months that I had heard her speak. Her voice was choked with tears.
人質なんだね。じゃあしょうがないね。
She smiled happily. Tears fell from her eyes, and then Mayuri buried her face in my chest. Where am I? Who am I? I can't see. I can barely think. A terrible screech fills my head, like feedback from a giant speaker. It penetrates my brain like 100 sharp needles stabbing me right behind the eyes. I thought brains weren't supposed to feel pain.
で
And there's more. I feel a shiver of pleasure beneath the pain and a terrible itching like my body's on fire.
カベ
I want to crack open my skull and tear out my brain. I want to scrape out my soft gray matter with my fingers and eat it.
おべ
That's a bit much. The assault on my brain is driving me crazy. Who am I?
ちょっと岡部どうしたのよ
Suddenly, the shattered pieces of the world reform. I slowly come back to my senses. I'm in the lab, standing in front of the phone wave with my cell phone to my ear. No, not the phone wave. Since headgear is attached to it, it's the time leap machines. It's hard to breathe. Give me oxygen. I hear a low wheezing groan and realize that it's coming from my own throat. I close my mouth and then take a deep breath. The inside of my throat feels like it's burning. I resist the urge to cough and continue filling my lungs with air. I notice that I'm drenched in sweat. The drops sliding down my forehead are annoying. I try to wipe them away with the back of my right hand. My hand obeys, slowly. Something is off. It's like my body and my mind aren't totally in sync with each other. Almost as if this isn't really my body. As if my nerves aren't communicating properly with my extremities. I try blinking slowly. This might just be my imagination. Could this be exhaustion? I haven't slept much lately. I try to move my hand again. There's no disconnect this time. This is my body.
岡部聞いてる
A familiar voice. I turn around slowly. Kurisu's there. She stares at me, perplexed.
どうしたのよ急にすごい声出して
What is she talking about?
具合悪いの
I try answering, but my voice doesn't work too well. Even more bewildered, I clear my throat several times.
いや問題ない。
そうだったらさっさと出かける準備しなさいよ買い出し行くんでしょ
買い出し
For what? I search for memories. The moment I do, images appear in my mind like a string of exploding light bulbs.
人間は根源的に時間的存在者である
もう大丈夫だね。
タイムリープしてもいいのね
I remember now. I used the time leap machine.
未来の記憶を思い出すのよ
That's right. What am I standing around for?
ここはどこだ
The better question is, when am I?
は
So at the very least, he's able to access his memories from what I like to call the present, or from his point of view, the future now. But it's good to know it works. But I don't know if there's a price to pay because there might be a cost. Like his brain is like kind of scrambled right now, but the fact that he accessed his memories just fine now, and nothing's wrong at the moment, seems to be a good thing for now. I grab Kurisu's shoulders and pull her close.
今は何時だ何月何日の何時何分だ
痛い落ち着け
落ち着いていられるか買い出しって言ったか
Which shopping trip is she talking about? Daru is sitting at his computer staring at us wide-eyed.
誰今日は何日だ今は何時なんだ
13日の5時ちょっと過ぎだけど
The 13th, a little past 5.
成功 したのか。
Did I manage to time leap in the middle of all that chaos? Did my memories really jump through time? Does that mean I leaped into the past, into my past self? Is there a chance that it was all a dream? Thinking back, forward, it doesn't seem real. Commandos breaking into the lab, it's like something out of a Hollywood movie. But the sight of Mayuri broken and bloody is burned into my eyes. I remember the smell of the blood, the sound of the gunshot, the weight of the headgear on my head, the pain of the bullet tearing through my arm, Kurisu screaming, Suzuha fighting to defend us. I remember it all vividly. I touched my arm. No bullet holes. No pain even. Was it all a dream? I don't know. I've never time leaped before. I can only hope that it was a dream. A feature like that is too much to bear. I recall Mayuri's last moments and my eyes filled with tears. I forced the tide of emotion back.
マユリは
I look around the lab. Kurisu and Daru are here, but I can't find Mayuri.
マユリはどこに。
どこってルカシのところに行くってさっき言ってたじゃんか。オカリン聞いてなかったん？
That's right. Mayuri went to beg Lukako to wear her costume. She won't return until it's time for the party. What do I do? What do I believe? Was it a dream? Or was it real? If it was a dream, then I don't have to worry about anything. If it was real, then I need to act. Now. I take a deep breath.
「あれは夢だったんだ。
Oh no!
あんなの現実に起きるはずがない。
It was a nightmare brought on by anxiety. That's all. There's no logical explanation. I just really persuade myself that it's so. Little do I know that I would soon regret my foolishness. We're gonna repeat this again? Oh no! I was waiting for a second because I thought it was gonna give me, you know, the choice to make. You know, either it's a dream or to warn everyone. Gracie goes shopping alone. I stay in the lab with Daru, waiting for Mayuri to return.
トゥットゥルーただいま
An innocent smile. Mayuri's alive. Nothing will happen to her. I was worried for nothing. When Tsusaha arrives, we begin the meeting.
オカリオカリフェリスちゃんやルカちゃんにもね声をかけたんだけど今日は無理って言われちゃった
I've heard these words before. Deja vu. The trick of the mind.
そうか。何か用事でもあったのか。
フェリスちゃんは今日はライネットの大会
Alright, guys, time to leave the house now.
しまった。応援行きそびれた。なんという不覚。
あとねルカちゃんはなんだか恥ずかしそうにしてたよ
ここに来たらまたマユリのコスを着させられるって思ったんじゃない？
It's just like my dream. I've never remembered a dream this vividly before. I remember every word that was spoken.
コスプレの件か。もしかしてまだ説得できていないのか。
恥ずかしいんだって可愛いは正義なのに
可愛いは正義ってそんな言葉が流行ってるんだ。
Oh, we're gonna have to replay this point again. This is already sad enough.
クリスちゃんもね可愛いよね
え？
ねえねえ今度のコミマに出てみない？
So when he time leaped to the same day, just a couple of hours back, though. Okay, it wasn't even he doesn't even have a day to recover. He only has like a few hours.
新作は無理だけどね去年作ったブラチューのセイラ覚醒後バージョンコスがあるんだ多分ねサイズはクリスちゃんにちょうど合うと思うし
Alright guys, I'm gonna end the video here for today. Thank you all for watching. Holy cow, this has been like the most crazy episode yet, if only because of all that's been going on. But if anything else, we're going to continue on in the next one. So thank you all for watching.